All right. So back for another episode of the Grown and Greek podcast. And I'm super, super excited for this week's guest on the show. He is a friend of mine and a colleague. We've developed a relationship over the years. And before I introduce him to you guys, I want to make sure that you are supporting the podcast. Of course, listen, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow, like, comment, share. Really appreciate it as we grow the Grown and Greek podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube. And if you know any members of the D9 who you think should be on the Grown and Greek podcast, please DM me on Instagram at Grown and Greek podcast. So my boy is already ready.
Stay ready. You gotta get ready, baby. Let's go.
He's a good friend of mine. He is a colleague. He's a former University of Tennessee quarterback from Passaic,
right? Passaic, New Jersey.
Passaic, New Jersey.
Yeah, baby.
Turned DJ. He's the owner of Rev It Up Inc. and a member of Omega Psi Phi. Please welcome to the Grown and Greek podcast, Sterling Hinton, aka DJ Sterl the Pearl. What's up, baby?
What's happening, boo? It's the ZQ. See, I'm the first diagnosed tripolar human being.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
You never know what you're gonna get. You never know.
So the deal with Sterl is he is. I don't think energy really describes him adequately. But he is, number one, a super smart guy. He's very multi-talented. He's a genius marketer, but you hear Sterl coming down the street before he even gets there. But I've learned so much, from him, and I just, am thankful that you agreed to come on the show and let everybody know how phenomenal you are, like I've been able to witness. So what's up, my brother?
Hey, babe, look, it's an honor to be here with you, baby. Come on, yeah, I know as Faith. I know as DJ Chocolate. Ooh, wait. It's spicy sweet, baby. Yeah.
No doubt. So Sterl, let's start kind of at the beginning of this journey, and we won't go back to your childhood or anything like that unless it's relevant, to how it got you to where you are today. But we'll start from your days at UT as quarterback.
Yeah. Well, played quarterback at University of Tennessee I redshirted my freshman year. It was 86 when I came. Then I started playing 87 to 90. Won 4 bowl games, 2 SEC championships. And just thankful that I had an opportunity to play quarterback. Back when, during the time, it was a little challenge for people that played my style of game and looked like me wasn't too popular of a decision to play at a prominent school like University of Tennessee. So always thankful to Coach Walt Harris and Coach John Gruden, Coach David Cutcliffe, and especially the head coach Johnny Majors for an opportunity to do so. And we won a lot, learned a lot, made some incredible friendships. Thankful I was able to come down here and still be a part of the family and work with the university in the capacity I am right now.
So we'll get to that. But speaking of your style of playing, so you saying you're a pioneer of some of the quarterbacks we see running and doing them things today, right?
Well, this is what I will say. Had I had the privilege to play these offenses these guys are playing in right now, I may have been good. I may have been good. It's amazing how much the game has evolved and how much, I guess during the time I played, defense is pretty much down in the game. If the offense scored 24 or 30 points, you were expected to win. Now, it's commonplace. So many scores of football games, the scores of some college basketball games. And, but, the way the offenses have evolved and all, I guess, are new threads of the old Houston run and shoot and that thing. But now, you got Reed, and the quarterback position, what I will say is just evolved as far as talent level. Those guys back there doing that thing now, they special. They fast. I mean, Mike Vick might be one of the fastest quarterbacks in the history of the game, but everybody is incredibly fast. I mean, you think about defensive ends now are having the speed of running backs, and they're twice their size. And you got quarterbacks that have the 40 speed of some defensive backs. And that's more commonplace than it was than phenom or freak of nature back when I played in the 1900s, long time. But now it's just such a pleasure to watch the game now too, because the athletes are so in tune with their bodies. There's more education out there. The game is safer. Back when I played, you wanted to buy the highlights of the crazy hits or somebody having something happen to them. Then with the new education that has come out since I played and the way the game is played now, it's a safer game. Athletes are bigger, faster, stronger, and it's a more exciting game.
So I want to touch on something, but before I ask you this question, who was your I know this. I know the answer, I think, to this question. But number one, who was your biggest challenge as far as teams go? You played in the SEC. I think the SEC is probably still.
It's NFL too. It's NFL too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. But who was your most challenging opponent, and why?
I'm gonna call you Faith this time, which I've never called you. Okay, I've never called you that. As a competitive person, I like to have a lot of fun, But when it comes time to win, I'd rather win bad than lose pretty. Okay, and I've won on every level I played the game, and in my life, there has not been any team that I've played in any sport. Not just football. In high school, I was a captain of the football, basketball, and track team. So any sport that I played at a high school level and beyond, and I played that team more than 3 times, that I have a donut on. So it's one school who I respect. Players, I've met them that I played against, and I respect these guys. But they put them red jerseys on. I'm talking about some roll, whatever they roll, and crimson. Let me tell you something. It's a problem. It's the only team in my life at any level, from amateur to pro, that I have not beat. And it's Alabama. Okay. Alabama. And one year we were, candidly speaking, we were favored to win by 2 touchdowns and lost 9-6. Who does that? Crying out loud. Crying. Alabama we couldn't get over that hump during the time I played at UT. And it's the only team in my life that I have not beaten. But I got to respect them. I get talked bad to by the ones that played and beat me. And, but you know what? I got to take it, and it's okay, because that's the only team I never beat in my life. It was Alabama, so they're my toughest.
No doubt. But speaking of that, what do you think, and this is speaking to obviously D9 and the listening audience who have young athletes who are aspiring to reach that level. Obviously you played, like you said, in NFL 2.0 in the SEC and everything, but what are the key ingredients, the key elements for young athletes who are aspiring to reach the level that you have, that you think that you can offer, some expertise
it's simple. About? It's simple. Don't play with it. Go get it. Don't sit there and hit the PlayStation or the Madden 2024, 25, whatever they got out now, and think you got games. You can play them games on the joystick. Get out there. You got to get it, because people are training now. And what you're finding out now, that a lot of athletes are making it to the show, which is the NFL or the higher level of competitions, the SEC and the Power Five conferences, because they're putting the work in. You got to put the work in. Too many cats come to the table, thinking they the biggest on their block. Well, it's a million blocks in the world, brother. You understand? Then there's somebody younger than you that's saying they're the baddest on that block too. So it's the people you're competing against are normally the people that's 5 years younger than you. And know what's the most interesting thing about that is they got you to watch. You don't have you to watch. So everybody you watching, they watching. Then they got you. See? And so you've got to put that work. You put that work in. Especially with the way the transfer portal has evolved since ancient days when I played. You can really prosper and make a difference in your life. And with the NIL deals and things of that nature that's happening right now. But you got to put that work in. Ain't nothing free, brother, sister, athlete. It's nothing free. Go get it. Don't play with it. Have fun. No, it was funny. I was doing a football camp this summer, chocolate, and kid was doing the drills with shades on.
No.
I said, let me tell you something, bro. You're going to take those shades off in my drill. Because cool ain't what you are when you're working. Cool only happens after you win the game. Not during the game, not before the game. It's after you win. You only can celebrate probably for half a day. Then just go back to work. Took them shades off, and then he refocused during the camp. And shoot, the first two drills he did were, as you can imagine, with shades on. The next two looked like a totally different person. And that's what, unfortunately, with all these cell phones and all the information that's out here, the kids in palm of their hands, all this extraneous stimuli, you got to keep them focused and show them the prize at the end of the rainbow when they work hard to go get it. Then let them get them in the right lane to work. And if you work hard, man, look, the sky's the limit. Because right now is one of the most awesome times for young athletes to actually capitalize on what they do for everybody else have been doing for years. Mm-hmm. So get it in, baby. Don't stop. Get it. Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'll tell you one thing. If NIL was strong back in my day playing, boy.
Oh, hey, Chocolate, I'm telling you, and all that motivation is there now. Okay. Right. But the key is what's going to happen is what we're going to need some more discipline, not only from the athlete, but from those parents. Because there are stories that we have the opportunity to research where, unfortunately, after the star days of the young star are over, there have been alleged stories. I ain't seen them. I don't know nothing about them. So everything's alleged. If I don't see it, I don't believe it until I see it. But unfortunately, the parents are reaping the fruits, and the athlete or the star, doesn't have the opportunity to enjoy his own fruits or her own fruits that she worked hard to have.
Amen. So, thinking about that and, enjoying those fruits, whether they, divert and not feed and foster the athlete's, future is subjective, you know what I mean?
Right.
But more importantly, being an athlete and a star athlete doesn't necessarily last forever.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
And you've been able to, totally pivot to being, what people now know and who people now know as Sterl the Pearl. And you've done it so, like seamlessly. And you still are at UT. But I got a question for you. I've never asked you this, but any given Saturday, how many people do you DJ in front of at Neyland Stadium?
102,000.
Huh?
102,000.
102,000
102,000 people. Yes.
102,000 people.
102,000. When we sold out, and then we don't get the standing room only when we're allowed to have those games. So we don't get those numbers.
Okay. Man, what?
Yes, sir.
okay, I thought, and I could have researched this a little bit, but I thought it was at least 75, but 102,000 people.
If 75,000 people show up at Neyland, everybody's upset because it looks empty.
Dang,
Yeah,
Sterl.
yeah, it's a blessing. And I should be way better DJ than when I am. I've been DJing since I was 8 years old. I've been DJing before I played football. And my cousin let me get on his DJ set back when I was 8 years old. He was a big time DJ in Newark, New Jersey. And and he let me get on his stuff. And ever since I played Special Lady by Ray Goodman and Brown, I've been turned out, baby. Turned out. So yeah.
I'm tripping, man.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
You figure out
102,000 people.
102,000. So we have 7 of those games. Then we in Food City Center at Thompson Bowl Arena where we play our basketball games. We'll put 25,000 in there per basketball game. Women's games will be about between 7 to 10,000. So I have the opportunity to entertain north of 1 million people per year, and it's a blessing because hey, I'm just me, and one thing I tell people, you can like or hate me, but I'm be consistently me. So you know what you get when you see me. So but I'm working hard to make those that like me more, and those that hate me become to like me. And so I don't act like everybody enjoys what I do, but I'm working hard to make sure I'm working hard to have them like everyone like what I do. So they see the work, and at least they can respect that I'm trying.
Mm-hmm. How did you pivot? How did you do that? Like what was the process, and what's the key? What's the secret? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, dude, you like what? I'm tripping. Like I'm really tripping.
Well, what was really funny when I had the opportunity to perform, I get an opportunity to also perform in front of the concerts that come to the Food City Center and Thompson Bowl Arena, and also the concerts that come to me in the stadium. So I had an opportunity to DJ for the Morgan Wallen concert, which is a huge country star, and it was 85,000 at that show back to back for a concert. That's unheard of, And then I've done the Nelly show, Lil Wayne show. Didn't do Justin Timberlake, who just left last recently, but I'm blessed to be able to do what I love to do and put smiles on people's faces. Because I know you see me. I don't DJ for me. I DJ for the people. I want to make sure everybody having a good time, and that's why I do what I do. And I never claim to be the best. I just claim to work hard to make sure everybody enjoy themselves. How did I pivot? Well, I was DJing when I was in college. So I put all my equipment down from New Jersey my sophomore year. My mother wanted me to bring it freshman year, getting grades up, and learn the offense and all the stuff I'm dealing with. And but I DJed all the high school parties when I was in my high school. And so I brought it down. So I was, DJing some of the highlight films when I was playing and selling my cassette tapes, mixtapes back in the day. And so a gentleman by the name of Barry Rice was in charge of our highlight department, VFL Films. He remembered that. And so he wanted me to try to get involved in DJing in the stadium a lot earlier than what I did. So I'm talking about the late 90s after I finished playing my little small pro career, early 2000s. And it just wasn't time. It wasn't time. It just wasn't. And then when the time came, actually Coach Butch Jones, who was then our head football coach, gave me the opportunity. And I'm forever indebted to him for that. He's currently the head coach at Arkansas State. He also coached the Kelsey boys, Travis, and them guys, at Cincinnati. So, and I always tell him he's done more for me than what he's done for those Kelsey boys. And they got a story. They got a story. But so I'm thankful. That's how it happened. And so I came down there. He wanted a DJ. And it was amazing, although everybody knew at that time, current players and former players knew I DJed, I wasn't the first guy chosen because they thought it might have been a recruiting violation being that I was a player. So I DJed a recruiting event, and then Barry Rice and Coach Jones found out about it. And then our recruiting coordinator, who is now back, Scott Altizer, and had let them know it wasn't a recruiting violation. And the DJ that they hired I don't know what he did, but he did something, and people upset with him. I don't know. And I get down to the stadium, let's go to spring game of 2013, and in the DJ booth was former football player, University of Tennessee, VFL, and at that time current NFL leading rusher, Arian Foster's in the DJ booth. So I'm like, Sterl, get up there. I said, I'm not getting up there because I heard it was a recruitment violation. We got all that squared away, and the rest is history. I have the record for DJing in front of the biggest crowds. I mean, I'm not making the most money, but I DJed in front of 160,000 at the Battle of Bristol, and they tried to break my record, but big time DJs, I won't mention their name, but they came short at 125,000. Now the difference between them getting 125,000 and me DJing in front of 159,000 is that they came to see them. I was just DJing the game. So it's a little difference right there. But I can say that, and those guys probably made a whole lot more money than what I made, but it's fun. So I'm thankful for the blessing that I've had to continue to DJ, continue to do motivational speaking, doing some acting, and that's what I do. Every day is a gift. That's why I live in the present, learn from the past, and try to carve a good future for me and everybody attached to me.
All right, so let's touch on the acting a little bit. Where can people see some of your work?
A lot of my work is on the OWN network. It's on ID channel. I was blessed to be in All Eyes on Me, Tupac movie. That's what a lot of my work is. I'm thankful to have over 100 shows under my belt now, and I'm usually playing Detective Davis. Solving the case. It was one time they had me play a bad guy. I told them I couldn't do that no more. Mother didn't like me. So I couldn't do that. I mean, it was hard for people to imagine me being a bad guy, and I kind of did a good job. That's what scared me. Like, oh no, I have another person. But I'm just doing my thing. Keeping it moving, staying busy. And staying out of trouble. Now, I tell people, I try my best to live a limitless life. So, I might not be doing the best job of it, but if I can tell everybody, if I die tomorrow, please go on that podium and say this guy right here tried. That's all I'm doing, trying to uplift as I come.
So what's next? What's next?
Well, hey, first of all, get better at what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get better. You know what I'm saying? Get better at what I'm doing. And I got my own little podcast called The Go In that I do. Doing that. Got some acting roles, hopefully bigger roles happening. And that's it. I'm me. I thought about going back to school and getting my doctorate, but for what? I got my master's. What I got a doctorate for? But hopefully somebody be nice and give me an honor. Oh, baby. But what is going to be next, though, getting past the jokes, I am privileged to have been told by our dean of music at the University of Tennessee that I'm going to be able to teach hip hop at the University of Tennessee as a class starting August 25, if not January 26th.
Professor
Sterl. That's going to be fun.
Professor Sterl.
How about that? Whoa!
You gonna switch it up with your DJ name? You gonna go by Professor Sterl? Or you still gonna do Sterl?
I don't care. Long as everybody come to the class and I'll be able to teach them, from the beginning where it all started. I was blessed to say, brought up in New Jersey. I was on the merry-go-round, back in 2nd Street Park in Hackensack, New Jersey, when some members of Sugar Hill Gang were rapping, and I was in those ciphers, in those circles, and, trying to, get tapes out of the shows that the Cold Crush Brothers did. And, I bought my first mixtape in 10th grade from Kid Capri in front of Willie Burgers, so, stuff like that, and I remember when Cass was doing shows for pizza, you know what I'm saying? Now you got billionaire rappers, it's those things that, that I'm thankful to be able to grow up with the culture before they even got on wax, and I tell people, I never forget the first rap I heard on wax was not by a rap band, but by the Fatback Band called King 10 the Third. That was the first one on wax. So, then Sugar Hill Gang came, and then the rest is history, And now you got these new cats out here right now with a whole different style, different flavor, whole different attack to the genre. And man, I love it, man. Hip hop is what I love about hip hop the most. It demands you to be at the top of your game. That's where the battles come in, even DJ, we got to be on your game. And, and the fans of the culture require that because you go from hot to not in a day. In a day, baby. Can anybody name the number one rap song that happened last year? No, unless you look it up. So, it's, and you hope when you lay down a song, it's a classic. And there's so many classics out there, so much great work, so many awesome stuff that he's in hip hop is created a vehicle to get stories out about things that were going on in the world that nobody really paid attention to. You think about that. I'm old enough to understand when that song that NWA made about the police came out. Now, as a young man, a couple years prior to that, in high school, who had a situation with those that thought I was somebody else, okay, know about not having to tell your mother because your mother loves you and you don't want her to go down there and try to defend you, and then she gets herself in trouble. And then the reaction of that song created such a worldwide uproar because they thought it was a direct shot at law enforcement. When it wasn't, it just told a story about what's been happening to them in their younger years and just recently happened before they went in the studio and laid it down. And nobody knew that until the movie came out straight out of Compton. Now you go, oh, we think about all that they had to go through and couldn't. Now you don't have those mediums that we have now. You can get that story out, get information now. All you have was the paper and the news on TV. You see what I'm saying? So the evolution of our lifestyle here in America and information that's able to come out immediately about things that can improve how things are looked at and approached is awesome. And hip hop had a lot to do with that. So I'm thankful to be a part of the culture.
And music is a universal language. I remember like being in Korea when I lived in Korea for like a year.
Wow.
And I heard Uptown Funk and did not know at the time it hadn't even hit the States yet.
Wow.
It hadn't even hit the States, but heard Uptown Funk and walking around a couple of the cities that I was able to visit. And I'm like, who is this? Like, this joint is popping. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And, seeing Koreans just go crazy over this record. I was like, man, what in the world? What is this record? Get back to the States over like a holiday. It hit Bruno Mars and it just took off from there. But it's, a testament to what you're saying, just music, hip hop, the culture. It transcends, people, cultures of people, races of people,
yes,
different parts of the world. And it, has allowed me and you both to live a dream and, make a living and all of that stuff. And it's just, phenomenal how we don't necessarily understand each other, but through music, we do.
Yes.
The language that we speak and we're able to just vibe to, in one given moment is breathtaking. It's literally breathtaking.
To see events when you have people from all cultures, races, backgrounds on the dance floor at the same time, rocking to the same song. That stuff like that you can choreograph. It's just so spontaneous. And what I enjoy the most is the fact that I can reminisce when I was young again. I'm sorry, but I'm 100 years old. My IQ was just 19, but I'm 100 years old. You know, the OJ's had a song that called "I Love Music," and it's a verse that said, "Music is the healing force of the world. It's understood by every man, woman, boy, and girl." And that's it. That's it. That's
That's
really
it.
it. And us as DJs, we have the privilege of delivering that vibe. And my thing is, I know you share this with me, just never in four walls, outside, if you're hearing me perform for you, whenever I'm there, I want you to forget about every problem in your world. Every problem. I don't want to think about nothing but fun, love, and good vibes. Only. And and that's what I'm thankful. I don't take that privilege for granted. I'm able to do it.
So if nobody does anything else, they need to take a trip to the University of Tennessee home game and catch you doing your thing. You'll be the loudest person in there, and you don't even need a microphone. You don't even need the microphone. But no, for real, like your energy and all of that is just it's I learned so much though, like really, Sterl. So I appreciate you giving us yourself and just rocking and just doing your thing and not even thinking about it. You just in the moment, and it shows. It really does show. So I appreciate it. No
I
doubt, no doubt.
appreciate that for real.
Well, we ain't gonna end yet because I gotta ask you one more question.
Give it going.
You have shared a lot, but what I'm picking up from everything that you are saying is the importance of relationships.
Yes.
And how those relationships can turn into opportunities, but on a broader perspective, they move mountains, they establish opportunities for others, they establish things that root and become things that are bigger than what you could have imagined. So can you kind of talk about building those relationships and how you sustain those relationships, and in particular how we as the D9 can foster better relationships amongst ourselves so that we can continue this work that we vowed to do.
Exactly. And that's it. We vowed to do the work of uplifting communities. Just do it wearing different colors. Strategies might be different, but the goal is the same. When we step against each other in step shows, that's really the only time I like to see competition amongst the divine nine. This is divine because it's a divinity that we took the oath to carry on. I tell a lot of my frat brothers, and much as we tease the Kappas, and tease the Alphas and Sigmas, we're all together as one at the end of the day. Our organizations are not gangs. Our organizations are uplifters, and we try to. That's the one thing I try to put into every single brother that's come behind me, especially in my chapter out of the University of Tennessee, the 15, is to learn that it's not about you anymore. That's why we chose you to have this opportunity. We thought you'd be able to see that it's not about you. Now you're able to come into the fold. It's my job as an older brother to tell you it ain't about you anymore. This is what you chose to do. Now you got to do it. And every organization has their way of making sure those that are in the organization uphold the standard. And the relationships that will be formed by you for being a part of the Divine Nine, the standard of excellence and persona that you're expected to have for being a part of the Divine Nine will also gravitate people to you. And you cannot take that for granted, because knowing somebody is one thing, having a relationship with someone is a totally different deal. And I'm thankful to be able to say I have relationships with more people than one. My mother told me if I had one friend or one person I could say I had a relationship with, you've had a successful life. I'm blessed to say I had more than one. And the more the merrier, because you never know who is going to do what when. And if, I'm blessed to say I have a literally salt of the earth mother, and I'm a mother's boy. I'm a mama's boy, but I'm a grown man. So I tell people, don't test my manhood. I'm a mama's boy. Hey, I am, man. She breaks me down every time. But, because of that, I've had a head start on a few things as far as no matter what situation I'm in, treat people as people. I don't look at me ever being above or better than. And I'm never one that's ever been jealous of someone. So I've always been the person that if you made $1 million and you got this big old mansion, man, I'm happy for you. High five. You can't impress me if I'm happy for you. See, I'm not. It's not. And unfortunately, some people, feel more of a competitive nature when they see someone doing well than being happy for them. I mean, look here. Be thankful you know that sister or brother or older person or know that entity or company or whatever. Be thankful for the relationships that you have and the ones you're going to foster. And always look forward to growing your network, in athletics and in business and entertainment. Grow that network. And it'll be something you won't vibe with. That's cool. But you don't have to disrespect. See? You don't have to disrespect those you don't vibe with. And sometimes get in moments where you got to have a conversation. And, it can be passionate. But, okay. But those are the things that, I really, when I speak to younger children, is I want them to be able to have that time to be a fossil like myself to say, remember when we did that when we were young? Because now these kids are taking things to the nth degree over nothing. Nothing. And by the time they realize it's nothing, they're paying the superior penalty as if it was more than everything. And, and now those are things that we as a Divine Nine have the ability to reach back and pull up and steer, some of the young people that are coming up in these days and times. That's the responsibility I take on and welcome as a member of Omega Psi Phi and Divine Nine organizations. And the relationships that I have with people in the game of business and the game of entertainment, the game of athletics, and the game of education, politics. At the end of the day, it still is never about you. It's about what you can give someone else to make it easier for them to get to where you are and beyond. So that's my whole deal. I'm not trying to sound, like this cat that, do all that and all that. 'Cause I don't, but I do what I can, how I do, and hopefully it's helping more than it's hurting.
No, it's helping, and you are phenomenal. You are, and it's cool to sit and talk to you like this, because normally, when we're in each other's company, it's we got to go rock something. We got to go,
Get in.
we got to go do a party. We got to go, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to, sit and talk to you and really share this moment, and for me to learn, who Sterl is behind, your persona. And I'm really, really honored to have you on the show, and I couldn't have done this show without you. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
So
baby.
tell everybody how they can, of course, they can see you at the University of Tennessee doing your thing.
Doing my thing.
But let everybody, let the listening audience know where they can find Sterl the Pearl.
Please follow me on Facebook at Sterl the Pearl on Facebook, my fan page, Sterl the Pearl. Follow me on there. Give me at Sterl the Pearl 16 on X, which is the old Twitter. Sterl _ the Pearl on Instagram. Holla at me. Sterling Hinton, Sterling L. Hinton on Facebook. I'm trying to come see me. Go to my webpage, www.sterlthepearl.com on my website. And, holla at me. Just give me a shout. I'll do all I can to make sure I shout you back. And, it's all love all day, every day with me. No hate over here.
Well, as always, Sterl, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a DJ and showing the world and them 102,000 people what you do, because it's needed and it's a blessing. But thank you so much for being a part of the Grown and Greek podcast. And as always, y'all, please like, share, comment this episode. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube at Grown and Greek Podcast. Of course, you can listen on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Anybody that that you think should be on the Grown and Greek Podcast, please DM me at Grown and Greek Podcast on IG. Sterl, thank you so much.
Thanks a million, Chuck. It was an honor, baby.
You gotta give me that hook, though.
Oh, baby! Love!
You can support Grown and Greek by subscribing to the podcast, shopping our exclusive luxury accessory line, or purchasing books from the D9 Book Club by visiting our website at grownandgreekpodcast.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and share on social media at Grown and Greek Podcast. Thanks for watching.